last month. What a great show. You guys carried it off so well. But yes, I'm back. Missed ya. Missed the
Oh, I mean,
banter.
I missed you too. I mean, I was on TikTok the other day, and I was looking for you.
I'm sorry I wasn't there. I'm sorry I wasn't there to calm things down. But nevertheless, it's you and I this morning. Do we have the wonderful Mr. Curtis Walker joining us today at all? Is he going to be joining
Curtis
us?
will be joining us a little bit later. I just want to do a big shout out to Adelaide McKenzie, such a wonderful performer,
She
a
is.
great actor, somebody that people should be looking out for consistently. Consistently, I mean, this girl is an absolute phenomena when she's behind the microphone. But yes, Curtis will be joining us. I'm hoping that he'll be with us in the next couple of minutes or so, which will give us an opportunity to do the comedy roundup for the month,
Yes.
um, which is the reason why I'm here. I would like to think anyway. And I thought that we'd kick off with Axel Blake, who is he won Britain's Got Talent
Yeah.
uh, a year ago, and he's currently on tour, ladies and gentlemen. And he's got a couple of words that he'd like to say to you. If you could just draw up that little snippet there.
What's going on, people? It's your boy Axel Blake, last year's winner of Britain's Got Talent. And I'm here to let you know, due to popular demand, the Axel Blake In Style Tour is going back on the roads. That's right. 21 dates coming to a city near you.
Wow.
And if you haven't seen the reviews, trust me when I say the reviews don't lie. I promise you, you've never seen a comedy show like this. You've never laughed so hard in your life. So if you want to know why is I won and why is the first leg of the tour sold out so quickly, come and get your ticket at your nearest trusted ticketing platform, or just go on axelblake.com and you get your tickets there, and I will see you there in style.
You know, I was quickly trying to read there to see if he's in Wolverhampton or Birmingham.
He's, he's well, the thing is, I think the best thing that people can actually do is to actually go on his website, because he's exceptionally busy and he's up and down the country. It has done, since appearing on that show, I mean, he's been on so many red carpet walks nowadays. You know what I mean? He's doing so many TV interviews, and I think it's something that we're all happy to see, the growth of the black comedy circuit, the way that it's happening now. It's just phenomenal. So my suggestion, because we're already running out of the year. You notice how we're running out of the year very quickly.
Oh gosh,
We're
it's
already
Christmas
into
soon.
November. Yeah, it's good. Well, I'm noticing all the adverts on TV. You know, they're putting parents under pressure. They're putting
Listen,
the parents
straight after Halloween came the Christmas adverts. But you notice this year you haven't got too many black people in them. Last year it was full up of black people that we were ruling Christmas adverts, but this year it's back. It's back to
yeah,
normal.
and you know what? I kind of like. I almost prefer not prefer the normal, but because I'm seeing more Asians and I'm seeing more Chinese, and I'm more into that rather than just seeing such a big swing towards black people, because there were certain ads that just didn't work for me. You know, like when they last Christmas they tried to sell us gravy. You know what I mean? And the black family sitting down having gravy, and I looked
And
at
you
the
know we
gravy.
don't use Bisto.
This is what I'm saying. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, hold on a minute. I can't see no scallion. I can't see no garlic. I can't see,
No
you know what I mean? I
Escovitch
can't see no
fish, you know what I
thyme.
mean? No curry
I can't
goat,
see all of
nothing.
these things. So I think it almost borderlined on being patronizing. They were actually
Yeah.
being patronizing. And personally, I didn't like it. I just thought to myself, well, if you're going to show us in terms of what we really buy, in terms of what we really want, in terms of what we're really about. And it's fair to say you can't say that, there's only certain things that black people want. You only want green banana. Do you get me? When you know that there's black people out there eating dim sum. You
That's
know what I
so
mean?
true. But we've
So
got
I
finite
get that.
time, and I know that you've got a lot to tell us about this comedy
Yeah,
hour. We'll tackle
yeah.
Christmas and the Christmas adverts.
We'll keep moving on, right? So my suggestion is that if you want to go and see Axel, it's better to go onto his website. Now, here's a show that he's putting on, and I suggest you get your tickets for this now. It's for the Crazy Club. The Crazy Club is a comedy variety show that Axel was doing about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And he's now taking it to the Indigo at the O2. But these tickets will go very, very quickly. And hence, that's why I've jumped into December as opposed to talking about November when it came to Axel, because these tickets will be hot.
Do you have details of who these comedians are in the Crazy Club? I can't quite read it on there. I don't know if you know off the top of your head who all of these...
well, the thing is the actual comedians that you've got there, you've got Richard Blackwood.
Yep.
You've got Kyra Gray.
Yay.
Yeah, Kyra Gray's a new female comedian coming through.
I love her.
You've got Junior Brooker there. Yeah. You've got Abs the Entertainer, he's there. All right. And the Games Master and all the other guys are celebrities in different areas. So they're not all directly connected with comedy as such, but those are the comedians that I could mention to you. Okay. Once again, I would suggest that people go onto Axel Blake's website. That's axelblake.com.
Yeah.
Where they will be able to get all the information that they're looking for. All right.
Excellent, excellent. So don't forget that, people, axelblake.com to find out information on his tour dates and the Crazy Club and anything else he's doing. I'm certainly going to take a look. I'm a bit of a lover of Axel Blake and his comedy style. So yeah, be definitely checking that out. So that moves us on to
Miss Judy Love.
Listen, right? I'm going to say this before you say a word. I went to see her last week in Wolverhampton. Now, I heard that she was coming. I booked my tickets from months ago and went. And Kyra Gray, let me just take it down for a minute. Kyra Gray was actually supporting her, and Kyra Gray killed it. She was the warm-up section for Judy Love, and she was absolutely phenomenal. I'm sure she got probably another 1,000 followers after that show. She was funny, and then Judy Love came on and absolutely just killed it. She was on for about an hour and a half solid, just giving us pure comedy.
Okay. I mean, the one like Judy Love, we all know Judy from Loose Women. But since she's been introduced on, I think she's represented us really well. I mean, the curvaceous woman is now here to stay, so to speak. And before, the curvaceous woman was looked down upon, you know. So we're changing. Comedy changes the narrative in a lot of different ways. I always say that sometimes in order to get a message across, you have to use humor as a way of doing that. And it makes it so much more sweeter. But Judy has also got dates. She's got dates in Aylesbury. Okay, and you can also catch her in Reading. That's for all the Londoners. But then, can you hear that little beep beep sound?
No, not me.
But there will be dates coming out next year. So once again, you can either go to Off the Curb. Okay, that's www.offthecurb. That's www.offthecurb.com, and should be able to just about get tickets for Judy Love's show. Now, Judy's going to be performing in the Palladium, and that's in February. Those tickets will go, right? I'm trying to give everybody a heads up, yeah, because us lot, I put on shows, and I find that we like to buy our tickets in the last week or the last couple of days, yeah? And to avoid disappointment, I would suggest that you get your tickets as soon as you possibly can. And that's if you're a big fan of Judy Love. I mean, I saw Judy Love come down and she was twerking. And I've never seen twerking on Strictly Come Dancing. They just don't have a category for it. All right? So please, ladies and gentlemen, get your tickets to go out and see Judy Love. Right? We've already given you a heads up on Axel Blake. And I think it's only right now that I congratulate a young man by the name of Kay Kurd. Kay Kurd is somebody that some of you lot may know, may not know of. He's Kurdish, yeah, but that's the Ransom Vance. He's Kurdish, and but he's well worth going out to see. He also has a tour coming up, and he had a few things to say before he sold out the Hammersmith Palais. Let's see what he had to say.
Let's get that video up. Is it this one?
You can actually edit it in with the actual intro when you see, you'll be hearing this. Now superimpose this with the actual, when you see me coming out. Abby's playing this. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen him on Instagram. You've seen him on live on your follow. Stamp your feet. Clap your hands. Welcome to the stage. Gang, come.
Now, I showed you that because our people tend to like to know that people are already stars before they're actually stars.
What? How do you pronounce his name there?
It's K Kurd.
K Kurd. Okay.
K Kurd. Yeah.
Okay.
He's Kurdish, but he's grown up amongst the black community. He worked on the black comedy circuit. Okay. And he's now selling out shows up and down and around the country. So I know that this show has a big reach. It's not just a case of we're talking to Londoners. We're also talking to people who come from Wolverhampton. We're talking to people who come from Birmingham. We're talking to people who come from Liverpool, Manchester, Ipswich, Portsmouth. So I'm trying to broaden the perspective of where people can get an opportunity to get tickets to go out and see some black comedy, okay? Or some cultural comedy, should I say. And K Kurd is one of those comedians that you can go and look up, because I can't do all the work for you, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you have to press on your keyboard, yeah, and find these things. But what I can do is I can give you information, all right, whereby this is possible. But then if you are local and you're hoping to see comedians, we do have a show called Stand Up Comedy with Dame Baptiste, Jack Skipper, Paul Thorne, and MC Nina Benjamin. Okay, I think we've got a flyer for that as well. There you go. Right. So there you have it. Nina Benjamin, who was in Three Non-Blondes. Do you remember her?
Oh my God, I used to love that show, Three Non-Blondes. That was my show. I really wish they would do a reboot and bring it back. That show was phenomenal. It was just comedy at its best. Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved her.
So here's an opportunity for people to go to Barnet. Because these Londoners, you know what I mean? I know you like to drive, jump in your car, especially South London, East London, Tottenham not so much, you know? But Tottenham, they do get out. North Londoners do get out. You can get out. And this is on the 16th of November, all right? You can go and see Nina Benjamin and also Dame Baptiste. Dame Baptiste, for me, is one of the most intellectual comedians that we currently have on the comedy circuit. And I know that he touches a lot of buttons, and I know that he could be a little bit controversial at times. But at the end of the day, what I think, if people really want to get out and have a laugh and just enjoy the moment, here is a perfect show for you. It's a perfect show for you. Okay, so it's down at the Bull Theatre, 68 High Street. Okay, you can get your tickets now, right? You notice that I'm emphasizing now. Because I think it's something that I really and truly need to do. And then again, like I said, we haven't forgotten the Northerners. Northerners, we have not forgotten you.
Yeah.
Right? We have not forgotten you. So all the way in Liverpool. If you're up in Liverpool, there's an hour special. Okay, that's going to be performed by Kane Brown himself. I think we've got a flyer for that as well. We have
indeed. Here it is.
There you go. That's Kane Brown. Tickets are only £12. All right. He's done 17 sellout one-man shows so far, and that's up and down the UK. So as you can see, the comedy is starting to spread out now. It's spreading out up and down the UK. And here's an opportunity for you to go and see this man. He's a monster. He's a beast on the when he gets behind the mic. So it's an hour special. It's at the Hot Water Comedy Club, and that's Blackstock Market, 17 Blackstock Street, LE6ER. Okay. There are, as he's pointed out, there are very few tickets that are left. Yeah, but if you go straight to the Hot Water Comedy website, and you live in Liverpool or you live in Manchester, here is your opportunity to go and see Mr. Kane Brown. Okay, so there is a few more things that's happening on the circuit. I mean, we've got Dane Baptiste. He's doing a couple of shows, and they're all going to be in the West End.
Yeah.
Okay, they're all going to be in. I don't know if I sent you that flyer. I might have done.
Was
it's
it
right down at the bottom.
Not that
right
one.
Down at the bottom, where he's sitting in a chair.
Ah, there we go.
There you go. That's Dane Baptiste, ladies and gentlemen. The whole of November. Look at that. You've got Leicester Square. That's the 99 Club. That's right in the square of Leicester Square. And he's also going to be at the Comedy Store. All right? He'll be at the Comedy Store and he'll be at the 99 Club. All right? And then he'll be doing a comedy brunch on the 26th. I'm not sure who's doing that show, actually. I should find out exactly who's doing that show. But you can go to Dane's website again, and you can get details there. All right.
Okay. I want to see some Northern West Midlands dates in there. That's London, Stockholm.
I mean, that's just what I'm saying. The comedians are now starting to go abroad now. A lot of us are going abroad and doing shows.
Oops, sorry.
We're not sticking. Before, comedy used to be within the M25. Yeah.
Correct.
But as we can see, over the past 15 years or so, it is now broadened. I mean, when I was going abroad, people just didn't know because we didn't have the internet to sort of like show people, this is my hotel room. You know what I mean? This is the stage. This is that. People weren't getting the behind the scenes kind of information that they're getting today. So what we do on this show is once a month, we try to keep you abreast of what's happening. And
right.
Give you an
One second. Sharky, I'm going to remove you because your screen keeps going off and we can hear your background noise. So until you get yourself settled, you mind if I just take you off for a second? We've also got Curtis Walker in the green room here.
Oh, let's bring
waiting to come on. You want to bring him in? No, he says give it. He wants 5 minutes. Just give him 5 minutes. Let's finish off your comedy roundup then. Let's try and finish that in 5 minutes, and then we'll bring him on in about just before 9:30 to give him some time. I think he's getting a cup of tea there. So anyway.
Okay. Yeah, as I pointed out, the comedy now has expanded, and we're moving to areas we never thought we were going to see from the days of the Real McCoy. It was like after the days of the Real McCoy, we assumed that what is happening today was going to happen straight after the Real McCoy, but it's taken nearly 20 years. No, is it 20 years or is it 30 years? 20 years.
A little while.
It's taken 20 years for us to get to this point. I mean, we've got Nabil Abdullah Rashid. He's also got a tour. And he was in the final of Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah.
I'm sure people can remember him. He was the big Muslim guy who was, sprouting out some social commentary, which was brilliant to actually see. So I encourage people to actually come out now. I know it's cold. People. I know.
Cold and rainy. Storm Kieran is just lashing us.
I know it's cold and it's breezy. But the thing is, if you come to the comedy club, you don't have to put on your heating. You know what I mean? You can come and sit down with everybody else and keep warm.
Keep warm through laughter, for sure.
You can come and sit down in the crowd. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to think to yourself, do I need to turn up the thermostat? Do I need to turn it down? No, because the comedians will turn up the thermostat for you, and you'll have a fantastic time. So that's what I have for you for this month. Obviously, I do have a show of my own, which is the as you can see behind me, the Rants and Bants Comedy Club. That's happening on the 23rd of November. Okay, and tickets for that, you can get tickets for that from Eventbrite. Okay, headlining, I've got Mr. C. Mr. C is somebody who works alongside. I work alongside when it comes to the comedy school. Yeah, that's the one. So we've got some comedians you may have heard of and you may not have heard of. We're trying to introduce as much talent as we possibly can into the circuit. We've got Brandon Palmer. Brandon Palmer is actually from America. He's an American comedian. Well worth coming out and seeing. His view on life just alone is it's worth £12. Just his view on life alone is worth £12. Cassandra Maria, who is somebody I know you guys don't know, but she has been working the circuit for a little while now, and it's nice to see the females having an impact on the circuit the way that they do. And then we have Mr. Kevin, we have Mr. Little. He's another comedian who you lot may not have heard of. And then we've also got Icy Jones, who will be hosting the show. Me, myself, okay, it's more of a production for me than it is a case of me getting up to perform. Because I feel that as the years go by, it's a case of, well, what other areas of comedy can I get involved in? And, I'm moving towards facilitating and production now, as well as getting up and doing what I do. Because I know people like to see me perform, but at the same time, I'm like, it's comedy's a business. It's a business, and I want to be a part of the business as opposed to just a cog. Yeah, I don't want some of it. I don't want a piece of the cake. I want all the cake.
You want all the cake. Eat it. Pick up the crumbs. Everything.
Yeah, I want to have a table. We should have a table. Do you know what I mean? We shouldn't be begging to get on the table. We should have our own table. Sometimes I'm actually quite surprised because you don't see Asians, you don't see a lot of Africans asking for the same thing. But we tend to in the UK, and I guess rightfully so. So I'm now hoping.
Yeah.
Our guest, Mr.
He's ready.
Curtis,
you give us a thumbs up, Curtis, if you're ready. He's ready. Let's add him to the stage. There he is.
Hello.
The lovely Mr. Curtis Walker. See, I did it. Do you know, Sharky and I all morning have been mispronouncing your name. Don't ask me why. It's not like I've got a load of water. We've been calling you Curtis Water all morning, and we threatened to say it. And only when I tried to get it right, Curtis Water comes out. So, forgive me if I say that. I'm not saying your surname. I'm not saying it.
Yeah, you've been saying Curtis Water for some reason.
We've been saying Curtis Water all morning, yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, Curtis.
You can hear me.
Morning, Curtis. How are you, Curtis? Wagwan, sir.
I'm very good, man. You in your car?
Yeah,
he
man,
is. He was here on the centre stage.
Okay.
Yeah, but I had to go to the airport, man. So, just thought, I'm not going to miss you, mate. I'm sorry.
All right. That's good morning, Sharky. Morning, Rudy.
Morning, sir.
Morning, Curtis. I keep on bumping into you by accident. The last time I bumped into you was in Brixton.
Yeah, it's not technically an accident. I live in Brixton, so invariably you're going to see me. It's not really bumping into. It's like qualified as stalking now.
Okay, I hear you, but I mean, I didn't
realize standing outside your house and saying, "Oh, I keep bumping into you." Well, move from in front of my house.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that was Ord's actual. I didn't realize that was Ord's place. I had no idea. I really didn't know. I
don't think that means anything to anybody but us, really. That's Ord's place.
You know exactly what I'm saying. You're being awkward.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but aren't you doing this to listeners and viewers?
Yeah,
yes,
so we need to
they
know the details.
I guess where I'm really going with this, Curtis, is that the night that I saw you was a showcase for the comedy school.
Oh yes. The comedy school. Like you, I try and do as much as he can afford. No, I do as much as possible with Keith Farmer, and it's a very good charity called the Comedy School. They help with educating children against knife crime, and they go into prisons or had gone into prisons until the government kind of went on the offensive about them. But they tend to go into prisons and talk to young people and try and help them make better choices. And it's a charity I think a lot of us really believe in and want to give a lot of time to.
Yeah, because we actually have a clip of you doing the showcase, the celebrity comedy school showcase. Can we play that clip?
Which number clip is that? Someone tell me which clip. I want to make sure I play the right one, Sharky.
You've got to work
That's
it
the
out
one.
prior route. That's the one, is it?
Let's see.
It's the one that you brought up just after Kane Brown.
Number, I think.
Let's have a look. Is it this one?
Pastor, she didn't understand a word you said. You go, I ain't gonna try here.
Good luck, everybody. Too much noise. What's that? And I'm really
Ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, that must have been a fun night, Curtis. That must have been a fun night.
It was really interesting night. Seeing everybody who desperately wants to do stand-up, and all for charity, obviously.
Yeah.
But they really took it seriously. They really gave it the respect a lot of genuine stand-up comedians don't give it. So that was impressive to watch. They were nervous, and I was kind of proud of them. A lot of the guys performed and genuinely respected the game that I love, which is stand-up comedy. They understand it's not easy,
Okay.
and they gave it the time it needs. You know?
Yeah, because I was quite surprised to see that Dwayne Chambers was there.
Yeah, Dwayne Chambers. Well, again, everybody looks at stand-up and wants to do it. You know, in regard to the comedy school, it teaches people how to speak in public. It had so many facets to it, stand-up, the confidence to step up in front of people. Now, all of those guys had that confidence, but then the added thing of having to make people laugh, not just stand up in front of them, but you've got to produce laughs. Takes it to a whole new level of fear for most stand-ups, you know? Yeah, so Dwayne Chambers, Steve Jones, and Chizzy, it was just a real lovely evening, and really, I think the audience, the crowd got full value out of that night. They really did. The energy was fantastic.
Well, it's great to see you supporting Keith Palmer and the charity of the comedyschool.com, because it was the comedy school that Judy Love went to. It was a comedy school that Axel went to. Quite a few of the comedians on the circuit. I mean, you've been in the game now for over 30 years.
Really?
Yes, bro. Paramount City.
Wow.
I was going to ask you, Curtis, actually, how you got into stand up. Was you always like into comedy from when you were young, or was it something that you just found out you had a talent in and got into it that way?
I think I was more fascinated by the spoken word, because when I was growing up, poetry, dub poetry, rap was kind of virginal in England anyway, although America had been doing it for a while, but we were kind of part of that generation that the spoken word was important, and I celebrated that more than stand-up. And then I had a fantastic English teacher who saw something in me in regards of plays and acting, and he allowed me to perform at school, and I did a lot of plays and stuff like that. And then from that, formed a double act as poetry performers. Myself and Muhammad Ishmael Thomas did a double act for poetry purposes, and that evolved into a comedy double. And then when me and Ishmael parted, I became a stand-up, what would qualify as a stand-up, rather than being in a double act, which I think is a different dynamic.
Yeah, because the first place I actually saw you was down at the Albany Empire.
The Albany in Deptford,
That's
which was
correct.
Still is, I suppose, always will be on my list of favourite venues, just because it's kind of in the round.
Uh-huh.
And when that's a full house, there is no other theatre like it or space like it, in my humble opinion. Back in the day when it was popping, man, that place was a hot box. Sink or swim, man, sink or swim.
Yeah, because so when you and Ishmael parted company, was one of your first gigs the actual 291?
That was my first gig solo televised 291 club with
Wow.
DJ Elaine introducing me
Yes.
as Ishmael, which broke me, man. That was a nerve-wracking experience for me. And
I saw fear.
like
To be honest, I saw fear in your face. I saw fear.
I was scared. And she'd introduced me as Ishmael, which just brought my head somewhere else, man. It was horrible. Worst gig ever, but it was televised, so what can you do?
Yeah.
And then somebody heckled me, and I lost all confidence in myself. That was nerve-wracking. But people don't really see that side of it. But that was my first ever gig, and maybe just bad planning or whatever, it was televised and it was live and it was the 291 Club.
No, but it was good, man. I remember. I think I recall slightly the first joke about a young lady with her hair, and you asked her about if it was an extension to her house or something of that nature.
Yeah, something of that nature. But it was all very defensive, you know. Even though you'd had material, the 291 or that Happy Empire 291, the room was fierce, you know, and everybody had something to say. So as a comedian, you kind of had to be ready for it. Oh, you know, Rudy, you've been there.
Well, Rudy, you've always said quite notoriously that the black audience is probably one of the hardest audience to perform in front of as a comedian. Do you still stand by that? Are they the hardest audience to please in comedy?
I found that I had to learn that it wasn't just a case of they didn't want to just be distracted with the comedy. They wanted the comedy to be in the room. They wanted it to be about them. And sometimes just doing a joke isn't enough. They like it when you they like it when you show and tell. So you tell them something and you act it out. If the comedy is just plainly in the words, they sit there and they just stare at you. So I did find it a bit scary myself. But it was the 29. I think it was off the back of the 291 was the development of the Real McCoy. Is that correct?
No.
So explain to me, how did that come about then?
Real McCoy was a separate entity and was on long before the 291. Real McCoy was probably 10 years prior to 291.
What?
Yeah. It wasn't nothing to do with that. More to do with Albany Empire when you go in.
Okay, I've got it.
Short, Sharp, and Shocking.
Yeah.
Who were Luella Gideon and Colette Johnson were a double black female, and myself and Ishmael, and then me and Ishmael did because then when I was younger, I was very ambitious and driven and knew what I wanted to do and knew how I was going to go about it. I used to really dream it at night and bring it into fruition in the day. It's very interesting, weird time in my life.
How easy was it to get into TV back then, and how different is it then as to how it is now?
Personally, although I'm not so driven and hungry, I think it's a little easier now opposed to then because of the medium you have and the accessibility you have of showing your wares. Whereas when I was coming up, you kind of had to get those people in the room with you or be in a place where they would attend, which wasn't Brixton, which wasn't Deptford, which wasn't Harlesden. It would have all been West End, and we weren't at the West End at that time in the beginning with stand-up comedy. Our comedy was very much in the kind of urban, inner outer areas. You know, even up Birmingham where you was down Handsworth, and where was the drum, Rudy? The drum was out.
Yes, the drum.
Yeah, so there were venues happening, but no middle-class producer was going there, to be honest. So what we did, me and Ishmael, I invited him down, Charlie Hanson, because I wanted to. I had a show in mind. That's something I wanted to do, and I needed. So I just looked at Yellow Pages and kind of looked on. There was a newspaper magazine. I forget what it was called. Anyway, there was a magazine that had all his names in it.
Yeah.
I found a name and then wrote to them a letter.
A letter?
It'd be an email in this day, won't it? An email, a letter.
Prior to that, so even that, I wrote a letter and invited him to Sullivan's. It was in Harlesden, funny enough. Sullivan's on Harrow Road, Harlesden, Harrow Road.
Okay, I sent to her.
No, Sullivan's. It was a wine bar. A guy called Sullivan. Anyway, a little wine bar. He had a venue downstairs. He didn't know it was a venue, but it was a basement. And I went up there and kind of sorted out the room. It could hold about 30 people. The fire officer was there, probably 20. But it was a nice space. And I invited Charlie Hanson. He came down, and with him, he brought the commissioning editor for BBC at the time, whose name escaped me, two old white guys. So they came down to that venue, and it was the first time they'd kind of been out. I put on a show with myself, Ishmael, and Speedy, who was a vocalist. And just devised this kind of cabaret show where we sang, we did jokes, and then she sang, and it was just a really nice evening. And then after that, and Charlie confirmed this, after Charlie Hansen, sorry, after that, we were invited to devise and come up with the Real McCoy. And the Real McCoy was built on myself and Ishmael and Colette and Luella. Those were the two groups, the double acts that were the main cog of the Real McCoy.
Very
Luella,
quickly.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on, Curtis. Go ahead.
No, I'm
Curtis,
just going to say Luella Gideon, a phenomenal writer, thankfully. Ishmael didn't write that much. I wrote a lot, and I've got to say Luella and Leo Muhammad were core writers on that. And then it was offered out to other writers outside of the group, and they submitted scripts and stuff like that. But most of the core of the Real McCoy was written by Luella and Leo Muhammad.
Okay. And then it took about another 20 years before we got anything close to that again with Richard Blackwood. And then we had to wait another couple of years again before we moved on to see anything.
Richard was that journey, because I think when we talk about it, Richard is a phenomenon, and he was a one-man band, and he was always going to be, or he had it, whatever it was, Richard had it in abundance. So no matter what the world threw at him, Richard was going to survive, man. And it's just, but what you should talk about is like from Real McCoy to Famalam, which is the same family as a sketch show.
Yes.
But I don't compare it like that, because one-man shows are one-man shows. It's like Lenny Henry to Stephen K. Amos to Richard Blackwood, or whatever that journey was. That's that journey of individuals standing up,
correct. I hear you.
But as a sketch show, you've got to put that in its own category, because it's totally different format, totally different way of working.
That's true, because I did watch Famalam, and I was quite.
I watched Famalam as well.
Pleased,
yeah,
especially with the amount of money that they spent on production. The production values were really high compared to some of the shows that I've seen. So as I've said, it's like the comedy is involved. And what would you say is the secret of longevity in this game?
Of longevity, that's about the individual. Do you still enjoy it? Do you still want to do it? Because the game's still going to be the same. Nothing really changes. It's just that if you're speaking on me personally, I love being on stage. I love that moment, that time on stage. Off stage, it's a bit confusing to me. Always has been. I can't really play the game. I can't kiss any ass. I've just not got that gene that allows me to beg for it, and I'm not gonna, and I never have done. But I do enjoy being on stage.
I think that was one of the things that I
let the lady speak.
Thank you, Curtis. It's only because I want to big you up, because someone's just written into the chat. Ritzy Richards has come in with this comment and said, recently saw Mr. Curtis Walker at a gig in Madeira, and he was absolutely phenomenal in comedic performance. The highlight, however, came when he featured in the finale with John McLean, Sandra Cross and Wayne Marshall. He absolutely smashed it out in the park. Sorry, I've been wanting to get this comment in because he put such a great comment. So thank you, Richie Richards. He said, enough manners and big respect, sir. That's coming from him.
Thank you, Richie Rich. Went live in Madeira, went live. On with three phenomenal singers, vocalists. And then had a bit of fun at the end. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it.
I didn't know you was a singer, that you could sing a note.
Nobody does. And the thing with singers, they're going to hate on you. They're going to hate on you, because I've always had a good voice, but they'll never give me the love. They'll never show the love. It's like my accents are fantastic. I've got friends from Birmingham and Manchester, and they claim anytime you do your accents in front of people that come from that place, they'll say, no, that's terrible. That's terrible. But you do it on stage in front of an audience where they can judge. It's beautiful. Haters gonna hate. That's all I'm gonna say. Haters gonna hate.
We're gonna have to try and find and dig up somewhere where we see you singing. There must be a clip somewhere.
I hope not. I'll try to keep that secret.
I'm sure there is. I remember a while back, maybe 2 years ago, you used to come out singing. That was the first.
I love singing. I enjoy singing. I think singers are spoiled. You imagine you write one song, it's a hit, and you can sing that for the rest of your life. And people don't complain; they just want to hear it. That's a beautiful place to be, man.
Yeah, but when
You
you
gotta
go,
write jokes every single
Innit?
week. You gotta have a new 20 minutes. You gotta have a new. Oh, you did that one last month. You did that one last season. But a singer, every time I work with vocalists, I am like, why are you complaining? They love you. And then they go on and say, I don't want to sing that hit. Oh, I'm tired of singing that hit. Sing the hit.
yeah.
You wouldn't have to tell me twice. Just sing the song that we love you for. I would sing it. I'd sing it 3 or 4 times the same night.
Well,
So-
look at Silly Games. Silly Games is a classic example.
No,
Oh my gosh.
She can blow. She can blow and still can. You know.
So a couple of things. Richard says he was great. The crowd went crazy. He said he's also got a clip of you singing. He said it was so much fun. Now, I quickly just went onto YouTube to try and find you singing. And I can see your clip of when you first appeared on 291, and you do look nervous.
Wow.
I'm going to post a link into the chat so anyone can have a look at that. It's a
The worst
7
thing
minute.
you ever done. Let's flag it up. Thank you.
So yeah, I'll send you guys the link that you can have a look at Curtis Walker's first foray on the 291 Club circuit there. So yeah, I'll send that into everybody. Sorry, Rudy.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So, Curtis, I mean, here's the thing now. Is that you're known as a comedian, but you're also an actor. Yeah. And you've been in various films. You was in Bullet Boy, if I'm correct.
Bullet Boy, yeah. The thing with it, Rudy, you do this long enough, you get opportunities. I wouldn't call myself an actor, but I like to act. I think I can act. But I know a lot of actors for what it takes and the pain and the journey to get the characters. And I've got to say, as comedians, I think a lot of us are the same. We turn up, give us the lines, we'll give the performance, but we don't do the. There's only a couple of times I've had to do homework on a character because you're kind of a chameleon. As a comedian, you are a chameleon in that you morph into different characters while you're on stage anyway. So that journey becomes quite easy. But I'm saying that to say that I don't think I give it the respect it deserves, but I'm glad for the opportunities when they come. But I'll never take away from what real actors do. I think it's another phenomenal skill. You know?
Because I know that you got together with Harmony Productions recently.
Yeah.
For a soon-to-be released play. I think we've got a film that's going to be coming out. I think we've got the flyer. We could bring that up if that's possible.
The flyer.
It's got Get In Now.
I've got it right here. There you go.
Yes. I believe this is soon to be released. Could you tell us a bit about it, Curtis?
Yeah, it's a kind of parody on the film Get Out. Basically, it's about a young white man who gets starts dating a black woman. So it's just a flip on the film Get Out. Small budget, wholly supported the process. Black crew, black cameraman, black directors. It had an energy about it from Harmony Productions and Kennedy, and they're very excited about it. And I think it's showing throughout November at 4 screenings.
Yeah, we've
in
actually got it up on screen.
Oh,
whereby, on Thursday, the 23rd of November, it's going to be at the Stratford Picture House. I believe it was co-written by Victor Daniels.
Yeah, Victor and Kennedy got together, and I think there's a few more voices on it in regards with the writing and stuff. But yeah, it was a fun project to do and very professional and all the things I kind of want to do, but just haven't got the energy or the will. But it's fantastic, the effort that went into this production. I hope it does well for them.
So, Curtis, you also was part of the London Olympics, correct?
Correct. So you're just reading the bio as we speak. Yeah.
No. I read about this. I've just got a chance to bring this in.
I got the opportunity to do what I would call the warm-up for the Olympics, which was in the London Stadium. The job was just to show the crowd. I don't know if you remember it, but they had things like pixelators. When you lifted them up, they lit up, and they could spell out things if everybody lifted it at the same time. So then you had to stand in the stadium and talked to, 64,000 people over a course of 3 days. And then we had the rehearsals, and it was so mind-blowingly fantastic. I just wish I'd videoed it. You know, I'm not into the socials too much, but I should have took my camera out and done some stuff, man.
Should have done.
I played chess with David Beckham.
I was going to say, did you meet the Spice Girls? Because they were performing.
No, I didn't meet the Spice Girls. I didn't meet the Spice Girls. Sorry. Didn't know that was a dream of yours. I should have video stuff. But I was just bumping into people, you know. And I remember meeting Michelle. Michelle Obama was in the house, and I tried to say hello to her. Secret Service aren't that secretive. You know they're there when you feel their hand in your chest. But it was surreal. Backstage was so, behind the scenes, was just amazing on that particular day. Rowan Atkinson, everybody you could imagine was probably in that building somewhere. It was just beautiful.
It was a phenomenal time, and it's going to happen once in my lifetime. And I was part of the Olympic Games, actually. I was a games maker, or whatever what you call it, and was up in the stadium. Yeah, it's something you had to be part of, you know. We're never going to see it again.
People weren't up for it, you know. A lot of people forget at the time, and it was a lot of negative going on about it. I just wanted to get in that BMW. They picked me up from my house. You know the BMWs that could cut through everywhere, and the road, they made lanes for them. I was in those with Ruth. I was in those like that, just waving. All the way from Brixton to East London in a BMW.
Oh,
it was very nice.
It was very amazing, and I've got to give an apology to Ritzy Richards. It's a she, not a he. I'm sorry if I determined you as male. My apologies.
So male.
So sorry, Rudy. I'll be back over to you.
Oh no, that's okay. Because I was hoping to because I believe that on the viewings that's going to be taking place in November. If you could put the flyer back up, if you don't mind.
Sure.
There's going to you're actually going to be doing a Q&A as well, from what Kennedy's explained to me. Are you aware?
Yes, as far as I understand it, on one of the dates, I'm not sure which, I will be hosting a question and answer. I think Richard Blackwood's doing one.
Okay.
Are you doing one, Rudy?
No, I'm not.
Oh, well, there's a few people going to get involved and do a question and answer. Not sure, you know me, I'll turn up and see what's going on, because I'm not 100% sure what's that's about. But if it's after the screening, I suppose the director, the writers might be still in the building, and the audience will have a chance to talk to them about the process. And I think if there's a lot of people who want to make movies or want to make films, it might be a great opportunity to come down and pose those questions, like how, where, when, you know? It might be nice to have that conversation with the producers.
Because do you think Felicity will be there? I mean, what was Felicity's role in the movie as well?
Oh, Felicity, I think Felicity played my wife. We were man and wife. It was quite nice, yeah. Felicity was my wife and the mother of our daughter, our children. So, yeah, very, very good performance from Felicity. There's a few scenes in there that blow you away. She was, and I'm just saying that as a co-worker, I was really blown away with some of her performances, man, in some of the scenes. She's awesome, absolutely awesome. But you know this.
Okay.
Felicity is a great actress. She doesn't believe it, but she's a great actress, you know. Well, she really is. She got skills, man.
Yeah, because she's doing the front room, if I'm correct.
Oh, that's right, with Fairweather, yeah.
Oh, Tony Fairweather, yes.
Yeah, he's doing the front room, which is I haven't been down to see it, but it's a great concept. Just one half's a play, the other half is a kind of exhibition or something.
Yeah.
Part of the evening. It's really good. Good idea. Format. Sorry.
Well, I don't know if anyone's ever been to see the front room as well. It is reminiscent of our old front rooms. Everyone can identify with some object in that front room that they found in or had in their house whilst growing up in the 60s, 70s, 50s, 60s, 70s, you could say. Yeah. So yeah, he's got a phenomenal concept there, Tony Fairweather. I've spoken to him. He's got a book out about it as well, alongside Windrush. But Curtis, you know, we haven't got that much time left, but a question for you. Knowing the times that we are in now, and we are in people use this generic word woke. Do you find that you have to tailor any of your comedy now to suit audiences, or do you find that you're sitting there looking through it thinking, can I say this? Can I get away with this? Or
No,
are you just still...
It's a great question. I never think that, never have. But in regards of the terminology woke, I think that's been kind of weakened in regards of the power of the word. It should become a joke now to say woke, and it actually was born out of something really important. It was born out of acknowledging people's pain, other people's suffering, other people's lack of respect or treatment of other people. And now we use it as a joke. Oh, he's so woke. Oh, he's so woke. And it kind of kills me. I don't use the word a lot anymore. I think it's been bastardized. I think it's been made comfortable for white people to say it. And when anybody else says it, it's back to where we were. If you remember when you said, oh, you've got a chip on your shoulder. You remember that terminology that was thrown at you if you raised a point of concern about something? Oh, it's just a joke. Oh, it's just banter. Why you got a chip on your shoulder? Now it's become, oh, you're so woke. And to me, it's the powers that be winning again. So anybody who's got a concern about something. In regard to that, on stage, I love it. I love to push the boundaries of that. As comedians, I think it's our duty to keep pushing the boundaries, to see how far we can go. If it's something you genuinely want to discuss, a subject matter. Like I talk on stage about how homophobic I was or have been in my past. It got just the words, I'm homophobic, I've been homophobic. And then it's the journey, how you get to the end of that sentence and where you take that, you know? But that's all based on honesty and truth, and that's all I deal with on stage, or try to. My truth, my honesty. So for you to judge me, that's the way the world is right now. But I'm prepared to be judged because I stand by who I am.
I love that. I love that.
Stand by it,
I love that.
And the problem is that you find some people are going back through their social media and apologising for an act that they did 10 years ago for some words that they used that may have offended people. And it's almost like putting a disclaimer on.
There's so much people that need to apologise for things, and they're bigger than me and you. You know what I mean? And we're dropping the ocean when it comes to apologising for horrific things that have been done. You know?
I'm actually hoping that we've got a clip. We should have a clip of the film.
Let's have a look. I'm hoping it's this clip. Please say it's this clip.
I can't believe you're visiting your family. I mean, we've only been together for a week.
There are a couple of things you need to know about my family first.
If you thought the story was over, if you believed the legacy was finished, you were wrong.
Wagwan. Those ghettos with those big bums.
From the people who had nothing to do with Get Out.
Will you really tell me, say?
So what's in there? It's just a room, Toby.
Oh, and Piers Morgan on Good Morning Britain will be hearing about this as well.
Well, we ain't on that show anymore anyway.
Make sure you watch. Get in now.
Cracking up. When you see the white guy going, wagwan.
Excellent.
I want to see that. I definitely want to see that. I was just cracking up back there, you know. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
All the movie, though. I don't think the movie's much longer than the trailer.
Oh no!
I think that was all the best bits there. That's it.
Oh no! Well, once again, if we could just put up the flyer one more time, so that people know where and where they can get their tickets from. I believe they can get their tickets from Harmony Productions, if I'm correct. Gettinnow.co.uk. You can get your tickets from there. It's going to be at Stratford on the 23rd of November. On the 24th of November, it's going to be at the Ritzy in Brixton. On the 25th of November, it's going to be in Hackney at the Picture House. And on Sunday, the 26th of November, it's going to be in Finsbury Park. Okay? And don't forget, there's going to be questions and answers towards the at the end of each showing. All right? I'm not sure who's going to be hosting what night, but Curtis is going to definitely be there. So excellent, Curtis. Thank you very much, my friend. You're a pioneer, as you know. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. And more longevity to you, my friend. More longevity to you.
Thank you so much.
Good.
Thank you so much for joining. Now, very quickly, one person, there was a quick message saying, is there any black comedy pantos in the near future? We've got 2 minutes. Is anyone doing any black pantos?
Rudy would know. I don't know about pantos. Never done one, and I've never really embraced it. But I know there must be one. Rudy, tell them.
Yes, Rudy.
Are you playing Jack this year?
Is he playing one of the...
I mean, Cat normally does the pantos, doesn't he? Cat normally does the pantos.
Cat Empire always does a phenomenal one, don't they? They do a big one at Hackney.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps for next month, Rudy, we can find out about some black pantos, maybe for anyone that might be interested. It'd be a good idea, actually, to go and see a black panto. I mean, it's got to be funny.
There's some good ones out there.
I mean,
I don't know, after COVID, after lockdown, I don't know if that picked up again, but I remember going prior to lockdown, there was lots going on.
Yeah, there was one. There was Ragarella that was put on.
Okay.
Ragarella that was put on. It was that was quite pretty good. I remember seeing that.
Save that till next month's show. Don't peak too soon. Next month is all about the panto.
Thank you. And at that point, it's 9:59. It is time for us to close the show. Curtis, thank you so much for joining. Now, normally, I get embarrassed about this. For the comedy segment, I started doing HPQ jokes, right? Me trying to tell jokes. I'm an upcoming comedian, so I say I am. Right? Yeah. So I'm only telling one, all right? Just one joke because it's the end of the show and I haven't really got time. So I'm going to see if I can make you laugh. Please laugh. Anyway, so... my friend thinks he's smart, and he told me that an onion was the only food that makes you cry, so I threw a coconut in his face. Come on, Rudy, man. Come on, I'm trying. Curtis gave me the big up. Come on. Mixed Clouds, tell me I did it. Tell me I made you laugh.
You did it, girl.
Thank you.
Because Rudy will have it. Rudy will have it.
Yeah, I'll have it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, gentlemen, so much. I'm going to play out with a track. Thank you for joining us, Curtis. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Curtis.
Love and unity. I'll get out of it.
Oh, my gosh. We had Curtis Walker there and Rudy Liquid. Thank you so much for joining us with the comedy special. We will see you next month again. Hopefully you might tell us about some black pantos. But for now, thank you, good morning, and goodbye.
I smell breakfast cooking, and I say it feels so good to be home. Many years I've had to travel to reach this destination. Here I am, I'll never leave you alone. I've been around, never met some girls, but they know.
So that's the end of the show, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the Breakfast Flight Show with SharkyDj and HPQ, and our very special co-host, Rudy Liquid, and a very special guest, Mr. Curtis Walker. Thank you. See you guys next week.
It feels so good to be home. Yes, it does. It feels so good to be home. East and west, miles and miles of emptiness, traveling on the road makes me sing. It feels so good, yeah. It feels so good to be home. Winter and summer, baby, I remember each and every moment that we shared. And now you're here to have you next to me. No, you're not a fantasy. I'm gonna love you 100 times more. I've been
DJs from London, Birmingham, Wolverhampton, Coventry, Nottingham, Northampton, Wales, Essex, Bournemouth, Leeds, Manchester, and the USA. We are GYRadio.
There ain't no other station like this.
Get your holidays. Get your weekenders. Get your tickets.co.uk.
Escape to the ultimate reggae paradise at the VIP Reggae Weekender. Join us from the 24th to 27th of November at the stunning Hemsby Holiday Village in Norfolk for an unforgettable experience. Indulge in luxury accommodation complete with hot tubs, spa, heated pools and seaside views, ensuring your stay is nothing short of extraordinary. Get ready to dance the night away in 3 separate arenas to the greatest lineup of UK reggae DJs, playing everything from ska, blue beat, lovers rock, revival, bashment and dancehall, with a decadent slice of rare groove and soul classics. DJs over the weekend include Daddy Ernie, Commander B, Roy Medallion, Santic Romantic, Natty B, Lady TLC, American Express, June Furlong, President, Culture Beats, Calvin Francis, Mastermind, Gate Crash, Capone, Martin Winter, Barry White, Cass Manhattan, Fat Freddie M, PD Cooley, Mr. B, DJ Christos, Scott James, Peter P, Stretch Taylor, Mark Collins and the Heavy Soul Crew. And the party lasts for 3 whole days and nights. This is your chance to immerse yourself in a weekend filled with laughter, fun and non-stop music and surprise guests. Whether you're a seasoned reggae enthusiast or simply looking for a good time, the VIP Reggae Weekender has something for everyone. Prices for this exclusive event start from just £150, offering incredible value for an unforgettable experience. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. For full DJ lineup, info and tickets, book now at VIPReggaeWeekender.com and get your tickets.co.uk.
James Shoe Care is your multi-service store in Barkingside, and Martin Winter has now been trading there for 13 years. Repairing your shoes, cutting your keys, engraving and supplying your sports trophies, stocks, leather and travel goods, repairing your watches and giving you the best service ever. He opens from 9 to 5:30 Monday to Saturday. So pop in. James Shoe Care, 97 High Street, Barkingside, Essex, IG6 2AH. Visit jscbarkingside.co.uk. Call 07985 118 123. James Shoe Care, Barkingside. We're not just a load of cobblers.
It feel like Atlanta, it feel like LA, it feel like Miami, it feel like NY. Summertime shy.
This is GYRadio, the little station with big intentions. You better know that.